All right, it looks like German and Aristal are ready to go. So let's not bore anybody with our commentary here, Neil. Let's get right into the meat of this thing. Let's send these guys off to duke it out, and we will commentate that game with all the expertise of that we have. So take that with
Obviously, the greatest commentary Ash has ever had.
That's right. That's exactly right. At least we understand the game well enough. We can talk about it semi-intelligently. So. All right, here we go. Let's send this thing off. So we're gonna bring this boy up, and again, once they get in, I will get health and Phoenixborn information updated.
It's time to start.
Yep. All right, so we'll get them into the game here, and then we'll see where we got. So we got. Looks like Aristal is on Brennan.
Ooh, this will be a quick one.
Brennan and Hope. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be here for a long time, folks, but we're going to certainly be here for a good time. All right, so we got to find Brennan in this mix. And German is on Hope. Yeah, Philly. That's right. Hope versus Brennan 10-minute game. That means Neil and I have got to fill an awful lot of time today. So if anybody else wants
Inquisitor,
to play on stream...
Inquisitor didn't want to fill that time. I'm mad.
All right.
He was in here yesterday all stoked. He was like, I'm first in chat and was talking the whole time, and now he's turned his back on the bus.
Maybe the bus ran him over yesterday. German goes, I knew it. Aristal goes, better than Snake. And then Aristal, so at least you don't have Earth to meditate. So
we joke this will be a fast game. I mean, barring some kind of nonsense from either player that we're not aware of, but it doesn't look like this is nonsense colors on either side. So
what'll be interesting for me is whether this is a Crickets game or a Vampire Bat Swarm game for this Hope. It looks like it's in color for both of those.
I think it's Vampire Bat for sure.
Looks like a possible single Divine Die maybe for the Lightbringer. It's possible with Hope. Lightbringer is extremely good with Hope. I do like duplicating Lightbringers in Hope quite a bit.
Yeah, there's no other splash card really. Like Grave Knight, but that's not really like something that's going to matter in this matchup very much.
Also very similar. This list from Aristal looks like it has a very similar dice spread to Asterix's from season 5 of Shuffle Bus, where he had that one-time die to be able to play the Gornrock Brawler. Gornrock looks like it might be pretty good.
Won't be seeing Gornrock this game.
You don't think so?
No, it doesn't do anything.
I don't know. Maybe.
Like, this game is going to be 100% race, and like Gornrock is good against like mid-rangey creature decks, not wide creature decks.
Sure.
So and there's the Lightbringer, which I was trying to think of like what it could possibly be, because the only crossovers are like Hydra and Grave Knight. Is there a sympathy? Oh, I guess Swordsman.
So German does meditate a few times here. Meditates a Sleeping Widows away, a Butterfly Monk away, and a Final Cry away to bring up the Divine Nature and Ceremonial Power dice. We see Aristal answer the Lightbringer with the single best answer to Lightbringer, I think, in the game, which is the Salamander Monk. I think it's just extremely good at nullifying the power of Lightbringer.
Yeah, any of the little one die summons are good.
So we're going back to turn 2 for Impossible German here.
The meditates there make me believe that this is just like burn deck v burn deck.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get that Raptor Herder out quick here. That would be a great duplicate target for Hope if this hatchling lives.
What's tough here is that like Hope is one of the Phoenixborns that can actually outrace the Brennan based on the ability to, essentially attack for 5 next turn if she wanted, or like make a second bat or whatever you do. This might not be bats now that we've seen the Widows and Final Cry. It might just be like regular Hope stuff plus burn cards.
Sure.
So the issue is that I don't know whose choice it was. German, who chose to go first?
Impossible German's got the first player token for round 1.
Right, but I was trying to see who chose, because if it was me, I would think that you would want to go second in this matchup. from either side because you want to have the top of round 2.
Well, certainly Brennan is really aiming for that top of round 3 to win on crazy shenanigans versus because Brennan, generally speaking, doesn't win the battlefield, so it seems unlikely that you want to go second as the Brennan player. Just in general, I think you want to beat Brennan to the punch.
I just think like the Hope deck obviously is going to be swing for a portion of the damage, like the majority of the damage.
We see the Lightbringer get that Salamander Monk exhausted and in turn attack the Raptor Hatchling, which is a good attack from Aristal, but it does force the Hope guard out right away. This does open up a huge duplicate swing for the Hope player coming at if they choose to. They choke the Brennan. That's an interesting start to the game here that could really be enough of a tempo swing.
So I'm not a big fan of choke against Brennan normally because but Hope has the potential to draw some extra cards. Like if there's a Void Pulse in this first 5, which would be risky against the turtle, and you make up that card you used in the choke, it's pretty good. Though additionally, choking the Brennan there does turn off the easy Salamander reset, as well as obviously the 2 damage.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, if you're Aristal and you're worried about choke as a Brennan player, he had the opportunity to attack with that Salamander Monk, and then it just immediately used the
I mean, I think that if I'm playing Brennan, a lot of times I'm happy if they're choking me, just because that's such a weak first 5 card against Brennan, I think. But like I said, in this case, the way that this match is going to play, it might be very good.
Yeah, I would imagine
in Burn v Burn, I think it's pretty good.
I imagine we're going to see a couple of big units come out from the Brennan player here in round 1. It's very possible we could still see Master Vampire and or Hammer Knight hit the board on 2 of those 3 last cards. Being the Turtle Guard only takes 1 die, that still leaves 7 dice remaining for 3 cards in hand. So it seems likely.
Right. The turtle indicates like not having the Fate Reflection, also not having Brawler, I guess. With 3 cards in hand, So
here's that big attack from the Hope player where we're seeing the duplicate Raptor Hatchling getting in for a total of 6 here.
I think he has Widows and Huntmaster is what I think he has.
It's very possible. It's going to be really tricky to play now if that holds true.
Well, it's not so bad. Like this was what he didn't want to commit the Widows after his opponent had like made 10 guys because the Widows type play is so much worse when your opponent has chump blockers. But now that the board is tapped out and the duplicate is gone, it's very difficult to pressure the Widows. So I think Huntmaster here is good. Okay, Turtle Guard is fine too.
Yeah, I think you make the Turtle Guard option because I think German's last 2 cards are with he has got 6 dice remaining, are probably Master Vampire and probably Hammer Knight. I think it's looking like a double Knight open on this early rush strategy.
Potentially, it's also I guess since he attacked there, he doesn't have Void Pulse because he would have like saved some attackers back to make a big Void Pulse. So he probably doesn't have Void Pulse. But that's one thing about Hope is like because of Void Pulse, you don't have to have 10 dice in your first 5. You can like if you think Void Pulse is a good first 5 card and it's going to hit, you can save some up to play what you draw.
So here's Aristal answering with his own Raptor Herder, Raptor Hatchling combo.
So we're looking at...
See if German went with like the Frog Ping Nature's Wrath play to potentially off-put the Widows here. Because otherwise this looks like a big counter swing for Brennan here.
I bet his last cards are Widows Huntmaster. Because he has an additional ceremonial dice left over since the Brennan got choked. Like that would have been calculated in his first 5. German passes.
German just meditates a couple of frogs up. Setting up that, like, I guess, preemptive. But I think if you're Aristal at this point, and you are on the Huntmaster, like you said, then I think you would go ahead and make your Huntmaster here because...
Well, you can't make Huntmaster right now because the battlefield's full.
No, Brennan's got 5 battlefield, dude.
Right, so if he makes Huntmaster, he won't get the 1/1.
Yeah. What's up, Jackson? How's it going, man? That's true. He wouldn't get the Panther off of that.
So he really like. I think the choke actually got him pretty good. If German chooses not to ping any of these units, because if he has the widows, if German uses a frog, then all of a sudden like the game unlocks for Aristal. But in the current situation, the only way Aristal has to make his own widows is with frog ping, which turns off the ability to play Huntmaster. Potentially he can like try to salvage this turn for himself by medding to another playable ally and using a ceremonial power.
I think if I'm Aristal, like you can easily commit the Raptor to kill the Raptor hatchling on your opponent's side here. And if your opponent decides to then shoot the hatchling down, like you do open up your Huntmaster, you're right, it unlocks the board, so they really can't clear that.
German right. Really... I don't think German should ping. I think it's actively bad in a number of ways to German use these frogs on killing guys.
It's possible that German's on Void Pulse and on Molten Gold here. I mean, it's possible.
That would be a strange first five, but it'd be kind of cool. I think we can 100% say he's not on Void Pulse because
we do just
he attacked with 4 guys.
And we see Aristal pass just going into round 2. I think that's probably an okay position where you get to go first in round 2 to just go ahead and say, all right, so you win round 1, let's move on.
Well, he only won round 1 if the Brennan dies, because he did a bunch of damage to face, but he's actually behind in guys. So if he can burn the Brennan out, which is hard to do from 11, I think, as Hope, with a turtle in play.
So we're wasting no
just
time.
Having the immediate thing. I don't think like that very much.
Yeah, I would have attacked with the squad. I think
he's obviously afraid of the second choke, but I don't think that choke, like this choke ended up doing a lot in round 1, but I don't think a choke in round 2 is very important. And honestly, if he was going to do this, he could have just made that attack first. And
I think he just risked that the Monk Spirit would have gotten chewed up by the... I guess either way it would have worked out the same, because you were going to lose this Monk Spirit one way or the other, unless the German doesn't... So the German says he wants to block one here. I'm going to guess he's going to block.
Yeah, Schmendrick, this is some fun KG bird mirror. It's been strange. The way round 1 played out was really interesting. Where the choke ended up turning off widows. I think I would have been a little greedier as Aristal and tried to med into a nice ceremonial power. Just like medded to the guy, attacked with my Raptor or with my Herder, next turn ceremonial something back that I could play. And then tried to pass out.
It's interesting because right now we've had 11 dice. We haven't even had 11 dice spent because there was like 5 dice stranded on the Brennan player side. So Brennan spent like 6 dice.
Brennan spent 5 dice last round, and German spent what? 1, 2, 3, 4. German only spent 4 dice last round, I think.
Yep. So what's going to be kind of a challenge, I think, now for the Brennan player is this exact situation here. This Turtle Guard can only block one of the big threats, so you're going to take another 4 damage here.
I don't like this attack, actually.
Why not?
Unless if he has the Void Pulse, it's really good. If he Void Pulses the turtle.
Well, he could very easily do that, but it doesn't look like he does. So, yeah, I still think this is a good attack because...
I mean, it's going to put him at, what, 11? And you still have to do 6?
No, you have to do 7 still.
7?
Yeah.
I guess that's like 3 burn spells if one of them's a Molten Gold.
The only thing that could really... get German here, there's a Sympathy Pain. That Sympathy Pain was used to deal damage to the unblocked Raptor. We see Widows come out on the back end of this. I'm not a big fan of the Widows here if your opponent has a Nature's Wrath. It's really...
I don't think that Nature's Wrath is in the cards for Brennan. I would play Widows there. It's like Nature's Wrath is like.
Well, you know what would be interesting though is because he attacked in such a way where his board is clogged. Nature's Wrath is a self clear for yourself too. So you lose 3 of your units, but you open up your battlefield and you kill all of your opponent's units off. So I'm not saying that Nature's Wrath can't exist in this deck.
It would be a fine play here. I just don't think it's good in this deck in general. Like, is that a Hammer Knight? That's like a very good.
Hammer Knight's a very good answer to Widows here.
We saw a Fester in the discard pile, so potentially this is at risk to Fester.
Right.
But probably not a lot of. Oh, he's gonna get a Lightbringer right out of the game.
Yeah, that's rough here.
Lightbringer is so good, man.
Looks very good here.
Lightbringer is going to be the next chained card.
Nick, don't watch. Go somewhere else.
Man, I don't want it to happen. I just like. Well, people that complain about Neil and complain about like Law of Fear, but are okay with Lightbringer, are not correct. Like, I don't know how to say that nicely. Like, Lightbringer is like much more powerful and annoying than either of those cards.
So I think you should still attack and pressure your opponent's guard here by attacking one of these units instead of just going straight to face.
Yeah, you might as well attack a Widow. Like,
yeah,
because now he just takes 3.5. Like, not that you're probably even going to have an opportunity to break guard this turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, you should still attack a Widow there, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So now he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they definitely went with some casual Ashcon decks. Clue. There's Clue for you. Aristal going down to 4 here. This puts Molten Gold and potentially Sympathy Pain / Final Cry, although we didn't see that.
Just like a
double
unit,
Molten, yeah,
and a Molten Gold. Like, there's a lot of things that
one Molten Gold in the bin, so he could have double Molten Gold, but it would be pretty favorable for him here.
Aristal pings his own monk in desperation to make this Fire Archer.
I like the Fire Archer here.
Fire Archer's fine. Just he had to put any guy in play because he doesn't want to get he doesn't want to just be killed. This is still vulnerable to Turtle, unfortunately. Or to Frog.
Mm-hmm.
What is this other thing? It might have actually been.
There's the Vampire Bat Swarm.
So he had Vampire Bat Swarm in the deck, but obviously didn't first 5 it in this matchup.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, if
he really needed to med to Turtle at some point in this turn, so he could have made a Turtle instead of Fire Archer.
All right, so German does go down to 6 remaining here with that Fire Archer that gets played. So we've got Hope with 6 life remaining. We've got Brennan with 4 life remaining. The driver's seat looks firmly in the Brennan player or the Hope player's hands right now.
It depends on what the last couple cards in Hope's hand are, because he could have nothing, and then Hope is also very close to dead. Oh, okay, so he's at the Molten Gold.
Yep, so that takes Aristal to 1.
So now he's this is important because
there's the blood chains. I'm assuming that this blood chains he's blood chaining to double exhaust something.
We just is clearing board, I guess.
Yeah.
But the what I was gonna say is him going to 1 is huge because Brennan can make a lot of like damage all at once. You can do like 5 or whatever if you Fire Archer, sack Fire Archer, Final Cry.
Right.
But if he's at 1, the Sympathy Pain will interrupt it and kill him.
Right.
Jackson, I agree. I think Lightbringer should not be chained. I just think that if you're an advocate against Prison, you should also be an advocate against Lightbringer. I don't understand the difference in those cards.
Vampire Bat Swarm.
But I don't think anything should be chained.
I think this is going to be seen by a Salamander Monk coming into play to defend that Vampire Bat because it forces the Frog Ping to kill the Fire Archer.
Yeah, he's got Monk. Like, he's not going to die this turn.
If I was the Brennan player, knowing you're not going to go first top of the round and you're going to be out boarded essentially by German, you really should like. So there's.
Oh, he's got the pulse. He's going to kill him.
That's the game. Yep, there is the game on the Void Pulse to beat the one blocker that was up and finish off the Brennan. So again,
did he draw a card at some point this turn? I feel like he should have Void Pulsed the turtle when he attacked with the many raptors.
Maybe he drew a card. I don't know. I may have missed that, but I agree. It seems like clearing the turtle guard there. I had
put it on 0% that he had a Void Pulse after he attacked with 3 guys and didn't kill the turtle.
And to your point, I mean, I think killing the turtle there, though, you open up the same 2 damage, you win the game sooner here.
Oh, okay. German's right. He did not do that because of the widows that he knew about from round 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense.